a very good Chinese friend of mine was seeing Dr. Lee, and he was talking about this and what he should do and concerned, and would this be bad for him? And if he eats this, would that make his blood pressure bad? And Dr. Lee, at 88 at the time, 人家不是豆腐啊. The human body is not made of tofu. Tofu. Doufu. Tofu. Okay? For us, it's not paper mache. The human body is not tofu or paper mache. Why am I saying this over and over again? Because I want you to see this. Does everybody know Phineas Gage? Okay. Do you see that spike? That bar he's holding went through his head. Okay? He's holding the bar. That's his constant companion. His inscribed tamping iron. Okay? Right through his head. And he lived 12 more years. And he was not a vegetable. Okay? And so, long known as the American crowbar case, right? This is the sentence I love. The case which more than all others is calculated to excite our wonder, not our amazement, but how is it possible he's alive? To impair the value of prognosis. Impair means to damage. It means whatever prognosis Western medicine says, you can't put a railroad spike through someone's head without them dying. Well, guess what? They're wrong. Right? Even to subvert our physiological doctrines, that which we believe is possible. Okay? Now, as I know some of you are MDs, and so it's a bit different, but so many people in Chinese medicine, particularly in the United States, yes, I'm looking at the camera, have so little medical training of invasive medicine and understanding that they really believe the body's made of tofu or paper mache. Now, they don't believe it's made of that, but they think, oh, I could ruin this. I could rip something, okay? That's foreign objects in the brain. Look at all that, okay? Foreign objects. Here's a nice screw up the nose. Here's a nice object that's gone right in there. Here we have another object. Goodness me, we have a person running for president in our country who had a parasite eat his brain, right? And he's running for president. Okay? Right? I mean, if you can have a parasite go into your brain and eat a section of it and still run for president, it does not say much for president. No. Right? It just, I need people to understand that this. So you got Phineas Gage. You've got foreign objects I've just shown you. But think of an endoscopy, right? They tilt your head back and they shove a thing down your throat in through your intestines. Yes, they're nice. They knock you out, so you don't know. But picture your little, where's the needle? Give me somebody, never mind. I have needles. Okay? No, I don't. I am in no way saying you should be reckless or careless or irresponsible, okay? But endoscopy camera, acupuncture needle. Going down and bumping the sides and bumping into things, acupuncture needle. Okay? Colonoscopy, don't needle. That's a joke. Okay? So, I mean, come on, that's a major object. They're putting a camera in through the femoral artery, going up and taking pictures of your heart. Acupuncture needle. What do you think is going to happen with this little thing that I can go like, woo, and they're putting a camera up. They're putting tubes down you. The guy's got a railroad spike through his head. They're putting screws and plates in through your bones. You think they somehow missed all the flesh? When they go in there, they're cutting nerves, and they're like, oh, sorry about that. It's going to be numb for a year to ever, right? Okay? Screws and plates. They're replacing organs. Have you thought about when you take the heart out, you had to cut all the connections and the fact that it's not just floating in there, right? It's not like the heart, like there's magnets that hold it in place, but there's empty space. It's like being held in place. Snip, 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 snip. Put it in. Stitch, 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 stitch. There's tubes, connections, place. They're changing that. They're doing replacement joints, right? Replacement hip, and bling, bling. Oh, could that hurt the periosteum? They're putting screws and plates in there. And then after 20 minutes, you take out yours. They're leaving them in. Okay, not enough. Electric paddles. You're like, oh, zing. Is that bad if gallbladder 30 made electric to the foot? Pop! Pop! Right? My father-in-law has had 37 paddles. Okay? And you're like, is that bad? Ding, ding, pang, right? Chest spreaders. Goes in, pull the ribs apart. Look, ding, ding. I'm sorry? Yeah, so is a chest spreader. I just for perspective. I'm not saying you should use a chest spreader instead of a needle. I'm just saying a little perspective on what's happening out there in the world that people don't die from. In fact, they're doing it on purpose. They cauterize the sinuses. There's no such word as acupuncture in Chinese. It's zhenjiu, needles and cauterization, not moxa. Jiu does not mean moxa. Jiu is using or the Artemisia plant to cauterize or to burn. So it's sharp objects and burning people. Zhenjiu, right? Yeah, a little perspective. Someone in the old days lops off an arm. What do? You're going to cauterize it. That's also part of the medicine. I'm getting distracted because I'm jet lagged. Cauterizing the sinus. They go in there and they burn people's sinuses. And you're worried about like, oh, is that going to be okay? Right? Ablations. So please don't be reckless because I've just gone on this rant. But the people are not made of paper mache. Organs, everything have a resiliency and a strength that just understand humans are pretty awesome. So be respectful, be safe, but don't live with a fear that's not even real. And the reason is when someone who understands medicine talks to us and we have these unreasonable fears, they're not going to listen to us very long. And so it's kind of like we get the patronizing kind of look or statement. And that ticks me off because I'm really good at what I do and I can make changes they can't and they can make changes I can't. But the idea that someone stops listening because they're like, oh yeah, they totally think that they're needling the shoulder blade and they're going to give somebody pneumothorax. I mean, I was in a seminar and we were purposely needling the shoulder blade, right? And the person is, if I push too hard, will it go through the bone and give them pneumothorax? That is such a level of bad education that was given to that person. They were given excellent education. The education was fear. That's what they were given. And the best way to keep acupuncturists in line is to feed them fear. Don't. Respectful. Follow the laws. Go to the correct depths of the books. I'm not saying anything, but I'm saying understand that there's the human body down there, which is going through a whole lot. And boing, boing. And just for those of you who aren't familiar with me, this is a 0.4 thick needle. People already think, oh, Andrew uses such thick needles. Boing, boing. If this was a sarin, it would be like a noodle. Boom. Good night.